Hello, my people. Good morning and happy new month. This is August. So, this is my first attempt on trying the fisherman okra soup, guys, with some seafood. So, yes, for a fisherman's okra soup, you have some, for my own, some okra, roughly chopped peppers, onions, iru, which is locust beans, salt, seasoning cubes, ugu, and then of course my fisherman combination of crabs, shrimp, stockfish, and some smoked fish. You can see that my okra is chopped and grated. So yes, we'll see how that will progress. Yes, so the first thing is heating up your oil, and then that was me adding in some chopped onions, to allow the fragrance to infuse into the oil properly. Yes, that's the first thing to do. And then once you achieve that, the next thing you'd want to do is to add in your roughly chopped or blended peppers, then allowing the combination to saute together. You give them time, guys. After that, um you would allow it to cook for a while. Yes, because we need them to be well cooked, like maybe 3 to 3 minutes. This was me adding in my iru, fermented locust beans. Yes, this is entirely optional, so if you do not want to do that, you can skip this part. But I love iru in my okra, so that's why I love adding it. Okay, so yes, afterwards, after a few minutes, maybe a minute, I now added in my what do you call it, and I added in my fish, my crabs, my dry fish, my crabs, my stock fish, because yes, they are tougher than the remaining part of what is on that plate. You can see that I didn't put in the shrimps. Now it's worthy of note to know that the crabs and the shrimps were pre-seasoned. All this are pre-washed also. So yes, I seasoned the crabs and the shrimps, and I also took out the scale, the shell of the shrimps, because me, I don't want to be eating okra and having to deal with the, you know, stuff part of it. That was me adding some salt and of course seasoning cubes. We have to be careful doing this part because, like I said, the shrimps and the crabs were pre-seasoned, so you don't want to have too much of seasoning in your soup. So you just put a bit, and then later on you can test and see if there would be need for any adjustments. So yes, you stir them. Now this part you need to be careful, especially if you're using fresh fish for your fisherman okra soup, because at this point, if you go about turning or stirring it continuously without being cautious, you might end up breaking all your fresh fish. So most people at this point don't even reintroduce the fresh fish back because it can scatter. You give it some time to cook properly, maybe, you know 10 to 15 minutes most. Look at that goodness, guys. You give it a proper stir. Yes, being mindful of whatever fisherman ingredient you're using. Yes, after a few minutes, yes, you add in, I was adding in the shrimps. It wasn't much. And then my pomo, which is cow skin. Yes, you can see that there's still some seasoning inside the plastic. Yes, so this was me giving the whole thing a good mix to ensure that everything is well combined together. You give it a few more minutes to cook. Then I was adding in blended crayfish. Yes, crayfish in your fisherman okra soup is a must. depending on at what point. Guys, look at it, cooking as it should be. This goodness is great. So you give it a quick stir and then be ready, guys. Once you are sure that everything is cooked, you my pot was literally sliding away from me, so I had to keep putting it in place. Once everything is well cooked, you need to scoop it out before introducing your okra to the soup. Yes, if I had just put in my okra on top of all this, it might not get a good mix and it might not cook well. So this was me scooping out everything, so that's particularly if you're using fresh fish. Like I said earlier, if you try to introduce your okra and then start mixing, you would break all your fish, and you don't want that. So you need to scoop them out so that your okra will have a good and proper mix with the stock, and then afterwards you will reintroduce them back for a nice combination. So this was yours truly, you guys. I was just scooping everything out. Yes. Yeah. It looks as if I didn't even finish scooping everything. But anyways, this is good to go, right? I scooped out everything and then I picked up my okra. You would notice that I started with the grated okra, because of course here in Nigeria, what is an okra soup without some sliminess? We need it to draw. Yes, that's why it's called a draw soup. So if you want your okra to draw or have some level of slimy, you have to grate some part of it. So that was the whole idea of grating and putting that grated part first. These days this is rainy season, so most times the okras that we have are not really the drawing type. They don't slime, they don't give you that village sliminess, if that makes sense. If that makes sense to you. Anyways, you have to be a Nigerian to get what I'm talking about, but we move regardless. Next is just adding your sliced or chopped okra, just few seconds apart. It's not really a big deal. Once you're able to stir this and it gives some level of spiciness, yes, you add in the sliced okra so that they would cook together. Let's not forget okra is a vegetable and it doesn't take long to cook. So yes, just a few minutes, so 3 minutes at most, your okra is done. That was me checking my semovita, by the way. Ah, God. I was so hungry at that point, and the aroma in that kitchen was something else. I was already, waiting. My husband had entered the kitchen more than 2 times to check out what's going on. But yeah, we were all hungry and waiting patiently for the soup to be ready, guys. Okay, after a few minutes of the okra, that was me reintroducing back my rishi back inside the pot so that I can give it a good mix for a great eating experience. So guys, yes, at this point I was not careful to mix anything, because first off, I didn't actually use a fresh fish. At this point, if you use a fresh fish, you might choose not to introduce it at this point. You can mix up everything before putting back in your fresh fish, depending on the type of fish. Though some fish might scatter at this point. So yes, guys, this part you're seeing, you need to remain or reintroduce, put back some blended crayfish, for that extra final aroma, and then adding in some chopped what do you call it, ugu leaves. Some people use oziza leaves and everything. You can use any vegetable of your choice, just a little for color and then a final blend. that is that, guys. So have you ever tried making fisherman okra soup? You won't believe it was so delicious. That was my first attempt and I loved it. My husband praised me the whole day. Guys, this was me giving it a final mix and it was awesome. Would you be trying this? It's not difficult, it's not hard, and it was so nice. Imagine that goodness all in one pot. Guys, I'm so happy. So if you have watched this video to the end, don't forget to like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and lastly, don't forget to drop me a comment in the comment section. Guys, I'm so happy that you're here, and guys, I enjoyed my okra soup with some semovita